What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, I'm gonna talk about Deontay Wilder because for all you people that love him, hate him, that Deontay Wilder is the big subject in boxing right now, and it is going to wind up being that he got a win out of that draw. And not in the way that a lot of you guys think, as in Tyson Fury got robbed, because I'm going to tell you, Tyson Fury did not get robbed. Tyson Fury got a draw. And if Tyson Fury would have came there to try to stop the champion and win it by going at and beating the champion, he either would have got knocked out or he would have won the fight. But Tyson Fury decided that he was going to try to box and be cute and, counterpunch and do all that good old stuff that you do when you're the champion. And he didn't succeed. And the way that you know he didn't succeed, and this is coming from a Tyson Fury fan, is that the WBC champion right now is Deontay Wilder. But that's not the subject, because I don't want to cry over reality, because that's what that is. And for everybody that keeps coming to the channel and other people's channel talking about facts and how this guy won the fight, all you got to go is to the WBC, go to WBC's website, look up the champion, and you'll see it's Deontay Wilder. And then listen to what the WBC said about sanctioning a rematch between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, and then you can wait to give Deontay Wilder some more of your money. Unless you're one of the 10 million people that watch that fight through illegal stream, then you just going to contribute with spreading the name of Deontay Wilder and letting him be even more well-known around the world. And that is the facts. The fight was for Deontay Wilder was extremely, extremely successful. For Tyson Fury was extremely successful, and it brings parity to the heavyweight division. But I do want to say talk about in this video what the effect of it is in the rest of the boxing world. We have two fights this weekend. Kell Brook is fighting on Sky Sports, and I'm actually at the time of doing this video watching it. And I'm watching it in a crowd of, when I mean crowd, I'm talking about like 2,400 people are watching the undercard for Kell Brook versus Michael Zarafa, right? Kell Brook versus Michael Zarafa. Sky Sports. I'm just going to read how many times Deontay Wilder's name is being said in his live stream. Wilder. Another one, Tyson, Kiss Men Fury. Another one, Wilder. Price will beat Wilder. Wilder. Tyson, Kiss Men Fury. Taking a beating like Wilder. White Chisora. Shannon Briggs, then Price. Wilder. Kristen Padilla said, who's Anthony Joshua? Another one, Wilder. Wilder's a clown. Wilder. Audley Harrison on comeback. Wilder's a superstar. People can't talking about him. The fight last week. Wilder. A mention of Lomachenko. A mention of Fury. Wilder. All through this comment section for 2,000 people watching the undercard of Kell Brook versus Michael Zavari. What is this? Popeye's chicken? Wilder. Wilder looks like Bender from Futurama. Insults for Wilder. Compliments Wilder, undefeated WBC champion. Wilder. Wilder. All through the comment section. Steve Harvey talking about Wilder. Ice Cube talking about Wilder. ESPN sports commentators talking about Wilder. DAZN sports commentators talking about Wilder, Tyson Fury. All these conversations about Deontay Wilder and whether Deontay Wilder won the fight or Deontay Wilder didn't win the fight. All of these things are telling you how well-known Deontay Wilder is becoming because of that fight. We know that the pay-per-view numbers were very, very good for Deontay Wilder. And by that, means it was the first time that he's on pay-per-view. According to Wikipedia, and we all know Wikipedia is a source that can never be wrong. Cough, cough. It did 400,000 pay-per-views. Okay, so We'll go with Wikipedia numbers because HBO has not released it and they're not going to, Showtime has not released it, and it might not all be counted up for 3 months until they get done doing all what they do. So we'll just go with the 400,000 and say, hey man, this is a $35-40 million fight the first time around. All this means that Deontay Wilder is more successful now than he was a year ago. When people from the UK and Eddie Hearn could walk around and say things like, nobody knows who Deontay Wilder is. If you go outside and you ask who Deontay Wilder is, Americans, if they know who Deontay Wilder is, nobody will know who he is. Well, it has progressed to the point where Canelo Alvarez's fight, which is in about 2 weeks, has been totally eclipsed by conversations about Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. Vasyl Lomachenko, who is fighting tonight, the entire conversation about his fight has been completely, utterly muted. I've not seen too many people even talking about Vasyl Lomachenko versus Jose Pedraza for the unification of the 135-pound title, the WBO and the WBC. Don't even hear them talking about it. I don't hear people asking when is Deontay Wilder going to fight Anthony Joshua? That whole conversation about Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, not hearing anybody talk about that. And here is the fact of the matter. That love him or hate him, you know who he is. Think he won, think he lost, you're going to watch the rematch. You're either going to be one of the 10 million people that streamed it illegally, or you're going to be one of the somewhere between 400,000 and 1 million that are going to pay for it. I'm going to pay for it again. And in that respect, Deontay Wilder is the hottest name in boxing. And I'm happy for the man. Very, very happy for the man. If he had just knocked out Tyson Fury, or Tyson Fury had not gotten up, regardless of what you think about Jack Reese's count, if he had not gotten up, this would not be the fact. And it is. I guarantee you a couple things. Bob Arum right now, leading into this Vasyl Lomachenko fight, wishes nothing more than people forget and stop talking about Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. That they stop talking about him. Because there's not enough conversation in the boxing world going on that's heated to pay attention to Vasyl Lomachenko. I'm going to be very interested to see. Now, Vasyl Lomachenko was on he's on ESPN Plus after the Heisman Award ceremony. I'm going to be very interested to see, how many conversations, how many videos, how many articles come out tomorrow morning about that fight. Because we'll never be able to get the numbers. We're not going to be able to see that because that is I believe that's on ESPN Plus. The other thing that we're not going to be able to see is Canelo Alvarez versus Rocky Fielding. There's already not a lot of conversations. That would be contradictory from what my point is. The conversations that I've had about Canelo Alvarez, Rocky Fielding have been that nobody cares about the fight. Spanish-speaking channels, YouTube channels are not supporting the fight. It is what it is, right? We'll see. We won't know whether it's successful or not, but I doubt very highly that it's going to do the numbers and have the interest that DAZN would like to have out of that particular matchup. Number one, because it's just a garbage matchup. Number two, because Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury has dominated all the conversation about boxing for the entire week leading up to the fight. Now, in conclusion, though, I want to see something that's pretty. I'm paying attention to something. Ring Magazine moved Deontay Wilder to the number 3 position after Tyson Fury, which I find very, very funny. Right now, they have their rules, and they say that ranking can be affected by performance. Right, results is the number one reason. Right, because that's the most subjective. What happened? It was a draw. And they must have believed that Tyson Fury put on a better performance, right? So I'm like, that's Steve Kemp. What is it? Dougie Fisher is in the editorial board of Ring, and it's owned by Oscar De La Hoya. So pretty much, who cares? The Ring is, it's garbage. Pretty much, it's Dougie Fisher and Steve Kim's opinion. And that's worth a little bit less in my book than about 15 to 20 YouTube channels that I can name. But it is what it is. I am interested, though, because when I did look at the rest of the rules, it said one reason why you would remove a champion is testing positive for performance-enhancing drugs. But then I go look at Canelo Alvarez, and Canelo Alvarez was never removed as the middleweight champion, although he tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs and had been stripped. Right? Now, if he was stripped, which he wasn't, but he should have been according to Ring's rules, then the vacant belt would have been the WBC, the Ring Magazine belt should have been empty. And he should have been removed from the rankings. And if he had been removed from the rankings, beating Gennady Golovkin the second time can't make him champion because he wasn't ranked. And because according to their rules, the only time that you can be ranked as the champion is if you beat the number 2, the number 1, and the number 2 guy fights. So Ring Magazine is more than happy to break rules for the owner, for the money man of the owner, Golden Boy Promotions. But yet they get, the fine letter of the law when it comes to a PBC fighter, right? Looked at the Ring Magazine rankings, and I just real interesting, man. Mikey Garcia ranked below Inoue. How? Inoue ain't fought nobody. Mikey Garcia is a 3-division champion, but Mikey Garcia is ranked below him. In their pound-for-pound ranking, there's 2 PBC fighters in the whole thing. Number 7 and number 9. Nobody in the top 5. Of all those fighters in the PBC, nobody in the top 5. You can find a way for Monster to be ahead of Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence with 13 fights. And Canelo stays as champion after having tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, which is why I say I can name at least 13 YouTube channels that have more credibility than the Ring. But anyway, it is what it is. Congratulations to Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder for being the hottest names in boxing. And we'll see what that effect that has on Top Rank and Golden Boy in their fights that are coming up in December that have to follow that act. That's a tough act to follow, Holmes. And when we'll see how these guys do when January, February, March, and that whole PBC schedule kicks off. It's going to be hard to talk about anything without talking about those guys. So anyway, it is what it is. And with that, I'm out. Peace.